when things get tough, you have to like get better in all elements. With the builders I've talked to as well as myself, big theme for the year has probably been like, well, you just have to get better. And that also means mindset wise, mentality wise, being able to make sure that when you get bad news, you don't crumble and you're able to just remain calm and that sort of thing. Danny boy, thanks for coming on the podcast.
No problem, Brad.
From behind the camera to in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre.
Yeah, you a bit nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, cool. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Today is Christmas Day.
It is, yep.
Or at least when this comes out. What are you doing today for Christmas?
That's a very good question. I think we'll be doing board games, which is a bit boring. I'm making like a big Christmas ham on Christmas Eve. So
last night.
Yeah, it would have been last night, which is like done in bourbon and rum and Manuka honey. So
Oof,
yeah,
delicious.
Yeah,
So you're a foodie? You're a bit of a foodie?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a foodie. Yeah, I like my food. Yeah. What are you gonna do for Christmas?
We go. We do. I normally do stuff with the kids. I got 4 kids. Megan. We normally do stuff for Christmas Eve. We just do like a little, just our family kind of thing. Where we play some games, have a little bit of food, a little bit of dessert, just like us. The next day we catch up with all the cousins and all that, and then we do the aunties and uncles, and then we generally all go, we keep it super casual Christmas Day, go to the beach.
Nice.
So we either go in Auckland, been to home, or I think this year we're going to Tawharanui up north Auckland. So we're just going to go there, massive beach day. So hopefully the weather, Auckland weather, you never know, it might be shit. So.
Yeah. Have you camped there before?
No, I haven't. I've gone there heaps back in the day when I used to surf, and I used to be a surfer. I used to go there all the time, like surfing and stuff, but I haven't camped. I think I might have slept like in my car there, but that's about it. I haven't when I was younger, obviously. But no, have you camped there?
Yeah, a few years back, me and my mates went just after we finished school, and we like drove up and did a bunch of different campsites in, Northland, kind of.
Yeah.
It's not really Northland, but it was actually during a hurricane. So I remember my tent was leaking and I had to get a Domino's like pizza box, and I taped it to the outside of my tent to like stop the rain from coming in. But it was cool. There's like Kiwis there and stuff. So if you go at night, you can see them waddling around. Cool.
Oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
eh? Kiwis are huge, eh? Have you ever first time I saw kiwi, I didn't realize how huge. I thought it was just like a little thing, but it's like freaking huge. It's like they can get quite big, eh? Like they can be like almost like not a soccer ball, but like almost that big, like huge.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. It's funny with New Zealand summer is that like in Australia, I know because I lived there for a few years and used to go there all the time. Like they don't really worry about like rain and shit like that over Christmas, New Year's. But in New Zealand, you do like every second year, every third year, you pretty much get rained out.
Yeah, I think we're due for one.
Yeah,
Because I think last year it wasn't raining, if I remember correctly. Which is going to be fun, especially
Yeah.
if you're at the beach.
yeah. So it's been a big year, eh? Better Builder has been. I think we're coming up to March. Will be our second. We've done it 2 years in this March coming up.
Yeah.
So we're about a year and 9 months in or something like that.
Just short of, I think we're at 87 or 86 episodes by the
Yeah.
time this comes out.
Yeah.
And just the Better Builder ones, not even including Apprentice, we're just shy of 100 now. Pretty crazy. if you
Yeah.
include the Apprentice ones.
Pretty crazy, yeah, because when I started this pod, I was kind of like, I said to myself, like, I'll do 100. And then, because they say it takes about 100 before you get any good. So we're still shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'll do 100. And then after 100, I'll decide if I keep going. So we're almost there.
Almost there.
Yeah. But no, it's been good, man. Year one, obviously, year one of the podcast was like a big bang,
Yeah.
which was 2024. Definitely like a big bang, kind of came out of the gate pretty hot. Started getting a lot of listenership, and then year two, it's kind of like a year. It's kind of like the rookie season of like a sports person, a rugby player or NFL or something like that, right? Where they all league, they have rookie year, they come out swinging and they have the best year, and then the year two, or even like an album, first album when it pops, all the pressure's on the second album, And so I think this year there's probably been a bit of a dip in terms of just it's always going to be like that, right? Of year one, it's so crazy. Then year two is always going to be a bit like recalibrating and figuring out what this is. How have you found being part of it so far?
It's been good, but it's also been hectic. Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to describe it. Like looking back from 2024, I remember how much stuff we were doing, like for the podcast, like, going ham every single week and like preloading all the content. And this year it's like, okay, let's just like slow it down a little bit more. And other priorities came in. But it's been good. Like we've got I think like a good style now, but when you get a good style as well, it can get a little stale.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think it's definitely got. I'm bored of it in terms of the current structure, um, which is just my ADHD personality. You know what I mean? And so yeah, we'll mix things up. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I think the big part is I think what is interesting to talk about is what's involved in like actually putting a podcast together. I think maybe I don't know if people are aware, but there's actually quite a bit that goes into clicking, publish on an episode. Like a lot happens before then, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so much things. Like we got to record the podcast. First of all, set up if we're in a different space, like we are now, which takes like a good hour and 2 hours if we
Yeah.
want to get it like really good. 3 hours if we can sit, like if we've got the time. And then we've got to record the episode. If we're recording one, it's about hour and a half when the guest comes in. So then we're at like, let's say 4.5, 4 hours just already going into the podcast. That isn't even including the editing time. And typically an episode takes about a whole day to just edit. And then a day and a half with all the reels that we post and the YouTube shorts. So it's quite a lot of time. And then that isn't even including the time that's taken to like put into the thumbnail and the title, which is about an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a lot. And then that doesn't even include the time that it takes to actually organize the guest to actually come on. Because there's like a lot of guests we reach out, guests may be nervous to come on, so they kind of like put it off for a bit and you have to chase them up, and then eventually they're ready to come and you have to book in a date and try to make it work. And then people a week, builders are busy, they might be doing like a concrete pour or whatever that week. So then they go, oh, can we postpone it? And you got to deal with the postponement. So there's a lot that goes into, and obviously then you got to release it and to do one every single week, which we've pretty much done. I think last summer we took like a couple of weeks off, maybe 2-3 weeks off. But to do one week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out, it's quite full on. I don't know if people know, because I talked to family members about this the other day, and they didn't actually realize what goes into it. They thought it's just sort of like you just sort of rock up, have a bit of a yarn, and that's it.
I wish it was that easy, honestly. I mean, 2 days is like, when you think about it, it's probably about 2 days of effort that everyone puts in the team to make it like go up live in a week. And 2 days per week is quite a lot of time just for one episode.
Yeah.
But
so when we started, we had like I remember I used to post all of them. I got them edited by Chin used to edit them back then, and you and Chin used to edit them. But now we've got Dane, who's our newest staff member with Grow and Better Builder. She's based in the Philippines. She's awesome. She'll probably be editing this one. So we have to say that, Dane, you're awesome.
Yeah, she's really good. I mean,
but she is. She's like a ex English teacher, like just like a kind of like the. I don't want to say the mum of the office because that makes her like sound like she's old. She's not. She's young. She's like she brings like the feminine touch to the team, right? Would you say?
Yeah. Every week.
Yeah. So she always comes up with games. Filipinos love games, Karaoke. So every week we'll play it. We have like some sort of game with her. So she edits it. And then so that's sort of like it's done by most of it. And then obviously you do the thumbnails and all that sort of stuff. And then I jump in when needed. So Kevin, who's the producer today, he doesn't do any of the edits anymore. He edited it as well.
He's a bit slacking recently. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So he's been. I think the other part of this year was that last year we focused a lot on Better Builder because it was like popping off. You know what I mean? We had like multiple sponsors, and where this year we focused a lot more on Grow, which is our main business, and you can only sort of really focus on one thing at a time, right? You can't do a million different things. And so this year we focused a lot more on grow, and then Better Builder was still going and was still chipping away, and Dane was taking care of most of that and you. But let's be honest, it's like, and we've talked about this off air as well, but it's sort of like the same. You sort of like interview builders, and then because we're based in Auckland, right, and we've had some tours, and we'll talk about that, but you sort of start to run out of competent builders, like a builder that's run their business for like at least 10 years, that knows what they're doing, has a good reputation. It gets sort of like harder and harder to, at the start it was easy. It's like, yeah, who else should come on? Who else should come on? And then now it's sort of getting to a point where and I don't think I'm saying this to the detriment of anyone that's come on, but like, to be fair, like the quality of builder will decrease over time. You're going to end up going, and so I don't necessarily want that. And so I guess we're getting to a point now where we're like, well, yes, it's good to put out an episode every single week because it gets people into like the rhythm of listening to the podcast, and they get into the habit of it. Monday morning, chuck it on, or Tuesday, whatever their habit is. But you can't do that at the expense of the quality, right? So I think moving forward, it's not set in stone yet, but I think moving forward, we will probably look at reducing the amount of episodes per month. So maybe taking it down from 4 to 5 episodes a month down to maybe 2 episodes a month. And then try to make each episode a bit more qualitative. So we also started to interview a little bit more non-builders, but also people that are in the industry that builders would find interesting. So we had a few architects on, people would have noticed recently, just to have different conversations. But we want to keep the conversation really high level and not, you know what I mean? Don't sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want it to be too repetitive. I mean, it's been good having architects on, even like me sitting behind there listening to what kind of insight. It's a whole other ball game in a sense where they're like thinking about different things compared to what builders are thinking about. And that's not me like saying that, builders have like a shed, but it's more about like
Different perspectives.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Cause they're like, builders can often be very practical, and they're all very knowledgeable, but then also at the same light, like we've got architects that are like completely different. A lot of them are like almost, I don't want to say theory based, but they've got like whole different idea, which is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of like, and I mean, architects, builders, they've like been combative, collaborative. Like, I think it's part of any, and then when you find a good relationship between an architect and a builder, obviously it's collaborative, because then you kind of like iron sharpens iron, and you kind of like come from different angles, and in the end you get the best possible outcome, from two people, different sides fighting for their side, or like, and it's collaborative, it's like anything that's good, there's always going to be that sort of friction as well as collaboration. This episode is brought to you by Forte, specialist in refined timber surfaces for inside and out. From elegant flooring and paneling to durable cladding and decking, Forte delivers unparalleled performance where it matters most. Their products are crafted to elevate every space, combining natural beauty with technical precision and enduring design with innovation. Discover more at forte.co.nz. But to come back to that, so we want to interview more premium builders, even architects and people in the industry that's connected to residential construction. And then I'm kind of thinking like, I don't know if we kind of like do more like and that's why we've moved out of our other studio. That's why we're here now. We have our studio we've had for the last 2 years that we've moved out of because it just got too big. Like we had like a massive office and a massive studio for like 3 of us hanging out because we had some people move out. So so the goal is to fill more on location, right? So coming into next year, we'll plan it out and we'll look at, not every time, but probably 50% of the time, we'll try to fill more on location. So whether it's at like in a builder's like office or shed or architect's office, or ideally, or maybe even like at one of their projects, or just mixing it up a bit, spicing it up a little bit, changing it up for my sake, so I don't get like bored, and So that's going to be kind of like the goal. It's not like fleshed out or anything like that. I'm going to be thinking a lot about that over the break. But I just want to sort of revitalize the podcast a little bit. So it's not just like same episodes, same clips. You know what I mean?
It would be cool when I think about it, like having different locations and like I guess leveling up the podcast will kind of add a little bit of variation, which would be quite cool because you look at like bigger podcasts and they're all doing that and it kind of like spices it up. Plus, like it'd be cool to get different guests on that aren't just builders. Like it's cool having architects, but it may be even cool to go into like other niches, just to all round make builders better.
Yeah,
is like the aim, right?
So. Yeah, 100%. I think it's definitely because I mean, when I started, I really wanted to have like a type of builder on to kind of like, and I needed to have that in week in, week out, so people knew what the podcast was about. But to a lot of the people, a lot of the listeners that sort of tuned in over the last sort of year and a half, they sort of know what it is now. So I think you can bring in other people that builders and even like people that are very good at business, different elements of business. And then you can bring on sub-trades and you can bring on architects and you can bring on developers and you can bring on sort of all those people that builders would still find very interesting and would still help them grow their business in different ways. So no, I'm actually excited like for next year. Like it's kind of got, because we were focusing so much on grow, especially towards the end of the year, it was sort of like Better Builder sort of took a back seat, to be fair. It was sort of just like hanging in there. Not that we haven't put an effort in, it's just sort of like wasn't a main focus, I guess. Yeah.
How have you found it, like doing the podcast week by week? Like, have you found any insight from any of the guests that have come on that you think has been quite valuable to you? And even like running Grow?
I think the big part, I mean, this year for me, like even as I'm running my own business, obviously you find ways of relating to other builders. And to be honest, the builders that come on, they're builders, but they're kind of business owners, you know what I mean? And like almost a lot of the times they would probably tell you that like building is like the easiest, not that it's easy, but it's probably the easiest part of their day-to-day is the building stuff. And if they could just do the building stuff, they'd like love it. But, the business side is actually the part that's extremely, or can be extremely difficult. And as the market sort of shifted and changed as well, I've just sort of seen this year, particularly like probably a lot of ego has left the building, has left the, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
As the market shifted, like when we started the podcast, it was a lot more builders had a lot more swagger, and there's a lot more like dick swinging and what ute are you driving and how many guys you got, and there was a lot more, you know what I mean? There's a lot more ego, and I think as the market shifted, like a lot of the egos kind of left, and guys have started to consolidate, and it's become more about the main thing, which is about running your business efficiently and profitability and looking at your overheads and back costing and all the business elements. And with that, also the mindset stuff. I've talked to a lot of builders that's really been struggling. So everyone is, when things get tough, you have to like get better in all the elements. So whether that's just in your skill set, understanding your numbers better, or understanding, how to manage your people better when everyone's more under stress, or cash flow when people aren't paying you on time and things like that. Especially in this, cash flow is huge. Even for our business as well, cash flow has been like probably the hardest thing this year. Like figuring out what money's coming in, what money's going out, and sometimes there's a delay in it coming in, and how to handle that. So I think that a big part of that is probably, and I'm probably self-projecting here as well, but with the builders I've talked to as well as myself, it's just been like big theme for the year has probably been like, well, you just have to get better. And that also means like mindset-wise, mentality-wise, being able to make sure that when you get bad news, you don't crumble and you're able to just remain calm and that sort of thing. I think that's probably been the theme. What have you found? You've listened to most of the episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a tough year, I think, for most people, just in general in the building industry. And like, you can kind of see that, and everyone's kind of a little bit worn down. Like it's not.
Yeah.
And
so let's be honest. Everyone's fucking worn down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the end of the year. everyone I'm talking to, no one's like vibrant or anything, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's just tired.
yeah, everyone is tired. Even like when I speak to people on the phone, like builders on the phone, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, it's just like gotta keep going, you know. We're almost there. We're almost here. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were saying that it's like the pendulum year. You know, it's like the year where all the shit happens, and then the next year it's like, okay, well, then hopefully it will get better, or the
Yeah.
pendulum's going to be even bigger, and then it comes back in the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? People have said, what did they say? Survive. Like last year, they all said like, and I don't really
2025
watch the news.
to
Yeah,
survive,
they're like
yeah.
survive to 25 was like the theme, right?
Yeah.
Last year. Then this year they were like, they changed it to survive 25. And I don't know what the next saying is here or whatever, but it does look like, I mean, in New Zealand anyway, it looks like the interest rates are. I know the banks, some of the banks have borrowed a whole bunch of money now, like huge chunks of money at a low interest rate, which is kind of indicative of the market
Yeah,
being
don't
at the
get me
bottom.
started on the conspiracy
Yeah.
theories.
Let's not get into conspiracy theories
Yeah, we
here.
are.
With a Zoomer at the desk today, talking about all sorts. But yeah. So who knows? I mean, talking to my dad, every time I talk to him, he's like an old boomer conspiracy theorist guy. He reckons the whole world is going to collapse. You know,
Well, it's flat as well.
It's flat as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's going to all collapse. The economy's going to collapse in the next year too. And then you talk to a lot of other people, and they say, "Well, no, we're probably at the bottom, especially in New Zealand." And Australia's obviously different because Australia's so segmented. Like Queensland's still doing pretty well. We're like New South Wales and Victoria, and sort of struggling a bit more. But everywhere, everyone's feeling the pinch. Obviously, with Grow, we talk to, I probably talk to sort of 5 to 15 builders a week, and so we get a sort of a good insight where builders are at, exactly where they're at with their revenue, where they're at now, where their profitability lies, and all that sort of stuff. So we've got pretty unique insights, I think, in terms of where people are at. And I think everyone has reduced their teams. So if anyone's listening to this and they're like, "Oh, I cut my team down," and they feel shitty about it, like everyone's cut down their teams. Everyone's doing less revenue unless you're an outlier. Everyone's profitability has also been reduced, and everyone's having cash flow issues, even if they're doing well.
Slimmed down. Everyone's just slimmed down.
Yeah, consolidating has been like the positive word of it. Just consolidating. Just like looking at your overheads, figuring out what you can cut, and in some ways it's good, where people can figure out where's like the fat in the business that didn't need to be there. People are like getting rid of like even stuff like softwares that they haven't used that are like overpriced. I've heard of a lot of people going back to spreadsheets or finding a cheaper option. So yeah, it's been, I mean, you don't want to be negative about it. It's Christmas Day today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I would just, I guess it's a good way just to encourage people listening. It's sort of like if you've had a tough year, you're looking back and you sort of, see some battle scars or whatever. It's like, you're not the only one. Everyone's been in the same boat. Everyone we've talked to, all the way from people that turn over like $500,000 all the way to people that turn over like 20 mil, everyone has struggled in this year. So,
tough times create tough people.
Exactly. Yeah. So we all got to get better.
Yeah.
And that's probably been the theme for us this year as well, right? Just like we got to just get better. Like it's not going to get easier. We just got to get better. We got to get better at dealing with things, better at our skill sets, better at everything. So, yeah, no, that's good. Well, what's been your like, let's talk peak and pits for the year, you know what I mean?
Related to Better Builder?
Yeah, related to Better Builder.
Okay.
This is what we're doing here, not in relation to your dating life or anything like that, Dan.
That's not happening.
Lou, should we start with pit and then finish with peak? What's been your pit of the year for Better Builder?
For Better Builder, I think for me personally, it's just been stressing about getting an episode up. Because
Brad.
Yeah, I've been haggling you to like get an episode up every week. It's like, all right, we need to get one. We need to get a guest on.
Yeah.
And yeah, even this, I wanted to record this like a wee while back, so we wouldn't have to rush around and set up last minute. But that would be my pit. What about you?
Yeah, I mean that's probably. I mean, I don't really have a pit. My pit's probably been just the fact that because I'm quite, I don't know, I'm kind of like a particular person. Like in some areas, I'm very chill, right? And it's kind of where I'm kind of a contradiction. Some areas I'm extremely chill, and in some areas I'm like very particular, you know. And you probably think I'm like bipolar sometimes, with how we work together, because it's like I go from like real chill to like real serious, like really. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed.
Yep.
Real quickly, like yeah, it's all good, but like hey, what? Nah, change that. It's a mill off. What's going on? Yeah.
Shit, everything's
Yeah,
shit.
everything's shit. This is shit, Dan. Go from like, oh yeah, you just hang out, and to like, this is shit. And so for me, probably it's been the fact that I've been wanting to sort of like change up just the way that Better Builders like presented. So especially like our Instagram, our YouTube. Like I hate our thumbnails. I hate not all the thumbnails, but like a lot of our highlights ones. With the Instagram, I feel like it's just been like clips, and that's sort of like, you know, if I had all the time in the world, I probably would have changed that up like 6 months ago, 9 months ago already. So it's the hard part of like knowing you want to change things, but there's no time in the day to do it and to even think about it. So we sort of just things are sort of just, you know, everything. You're only able to sort of change it months after you really wanted to change it. So that's probably been my pit. It's not even really a pit. It's just sort of like something I want to change a little bit, optimize a little bit. I want our Instagram and all that to be a little bit more multifaceted, like a bit more behind the scenes stuff, a bit more showing people's projects, like showing what's happening with builders and behind the scenes, not just clip. And so, but with that comes resources required and team, and everyone's busy. So that's probably been the pit. But what's been the peak?
I think we'll probably have the same one. I'd say the Australian tour, going to Gold Coast and interviewing
Yeah.
some cool builders over there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Stressful, like doing 9 episodes in like 3 days.
Yeah. So how did that work? Yeah. So we went at
Might have been
we
10.
went for like a week, right? We went for about a week. We shot like a client project for Grow, it was Avid Constructions in Byron Bay, and then we shot 9 episodes in Gold Coast and Brisbane. So that was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was boys on tour with me, you, and Kevin. We all went. Probably a bit of an overkill in terms of everyone going, but it was cool. It was cool. Like I remember like looking at the numbers of the trip, and like we spent like way more than we should have spent. Like it wasn't a very profitable trip, but it was a lot of fun. Like we hit up. Obviously we were in Gold Coast most of the time. Hit up Byron Bay, Bangalore. Like where else did we go?
Skinner's Head.
Yeah, Skinner's Head, all around the northern
Yeah,
rivers.
all around the northern rivers, and then obviously we stayed in. We're in Goldie.
Yeah.
We went to Burley Pav.
Yeah, Burley Pavilion was pretty sick. We're just having some beers there. We went to but most of the time we were like working our asses off, waking up at 4 a.m., going to bed 10 o'clock at night, repeat. So
for a week on straight.
Yeah.
I think everyone got quite sick after that. We were pushing ourselves a little too much.
Yeah, we all got sick when we got back, but I think people probably would, when they look back at those episodes, they'd probably see my face being kind of like all puffy-eyed and like kind of like I am now, actually. But yeah, that is my peak as well. Having some drinks at one of those bars in Byron Bay, and there was like a guy singing on the guitar, and he was just like the man singing over there. So that was kind of like that was definitely like a peak. I mean, people don't understand that. Yeah, for Kiwis to, and you can see why Kiwis moved to Australia. How many went this year? 70,000, 75,000 or something.
Yeah.
I think we worked it out. It was something like 9 every hour or something like that.
1 every hour or something, or like 12 in a day or something.
It was more
something
than that.
crazy.
Yeah. I think it was like 5 an hour or something crazy. When you can see why they do it, because it is a lot of fun in Australia. The weather's really nice, and it's like so that was probably the peak this year. And there was some amazing Australian builders as well.
Yeah, cool guys.
And that's kind of the thing as well, that this is not enough, because even with us, like we've got obviously Forte as our sponsor. We love partnering with Forte, like they're awesome. Really cool products and like cool brand, and like people there are cool. Like it's kind of like they're a cool partnership. But to be honest, it's still a small niche podcast. You know what I mean? So there's not like a lot of budget flying around for us to be getting on a plane all the time and doing tours. But if we had our way, we'd be going on way more Australian tours, eh?
Oh yeah, we'd hit up everywhere. Go Tassie for a little bit.
Yeah. I want to hit up Tassie. I hit up those Sonetto boys. The guys, I think they do like Future Builder or whatever. I hit those guys up about. We've been going back and forth about when I'm in Tassie. When I hit up, there's like quite a few really cool architectural builders in Tasmania. I think they don't have like the same rules around their insurances, so they're not limited. They're not limited that much in terms of how fast they can grow. There's a lot of architectural builders that have grown fast over the years and do amazing builds. And so there's probably like a solid like 5 to 10 builders we can probably interview just in Tasmania. So I'm looking forward to that. Where else should we go in Australia?
In Australia? Ooh, I think we've got to hit a few spots again. Like we'll have to go back to Brisbane. Some cool builders there that we've probably missed out.
Sunshine Coast.
Yeah,
cool.
Sunshine Coast.
Even Adelaide be cool. Like there's heaps of cool South Australian builders as well. Clem Homes, those are the guys. I want to interview those guys. And there's a few other ones that are cool too. And then going back, obviously Sydney and Melbourne would be cool too. We want to go back to Melbourne and interview the guys from McKim. I think the guys that reached out, that we can come use their offices and come hang out and do a pod. That would be really cool. They're really prominent builders there in Melbourne. I think they've moved into Queensland as well. But yeah, that'd be cool. What about New Zealand
as well?
Oh, Grayer,
a big one.
I've been reaching out to them. Not very forthcoming. Those guys are very busy, very, very. They're like pretty much Australia's like top developers at the moment in terms of that resi stuff. So multi-unit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'd be cool. Like to be fair, I thought about this a little bit, and I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to interview them. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of like. It'd be cool to interview them because it'd be, Greg coming on Better Builder would be great for brand association and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? But like, to be fair, we've never really chosen our guests based on who's got the most followers or anything like that. We've always just wanted to have really good, authentic conversations about the truth of running a construction business, the good times and the hard times. And so I have no desire to have like polished interviews with people, including Grayer.
Yeah. Got to get down.
So I want to get down and dirty in terms of like the realness of running the business and shit that can go wrong and what has gone wrong and all that sort of stuff. So those are the episodes that are more probably memorable to me. Hey, like it's not.
I think it's also like you enjoy it a lot more when it feels a lot more like real, because like sometimes it's almost like you go into autopilot a little bit with some of the episodes, but you can really feel it when it's authentic. I think those episodes, probably the guests would agree. You see kind of like the realness and the rawness.
Yeah.
Because I mean, shit's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no point. I mean, I talked to a builder that came in. I think he was like one of the first 5 or 6 episodes. He came in and he said as well. He goes, yeah. His point of view is he's like, yeah, some guys come on he's like, listen to some podcasts. He's like, yeah, some guys come on and they just sort of say the main talking points, but you can tell they're not being real. And you can kind of tell when you're in the episode as well, like when I'm having the chat, it's like, if I feel like it's vibing and they're being authentic, then that comes across as well to the listeners and people listening or watching. So yeah. And then obviously in New Zealand, there's some spots as well. Obviously Queenstown. Yeah. Down Queenstown, Wanaka, there's some amazing builders down there. So yeah, obviously we're running out of builders in Auckland, and we have no desire to just interview Auckland builders. So we want to move around. The next year we'll see.
Yeah,
it's kind of like if it's kind of like a funny thing, because if we are able to like do good business with, it's almost like, because obviously we've got Forte sponsoring us, and that's cool. But I mean they sort of just cover some of the costs, right? In reality, so it depends on how well Grow does, whether we can we use Grow's profits to tour around and like interview builders. So this is definitely not a profitable endeavor yet. It's definitely a passion project. Even though we've made some good money with sponsorship, but all that money has always been reinvested straight away. Into gear and things like that as well. But Yeah, no, it's been good. So on this episode, we're yapping on so much that we need to get into the awards.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the awards for 2025. A quick shout out to Forte supporting today's episode. They work across flooring, wall surfaces, exteriors, and more. But what sets them apart is how their timber performs over time. Forte is trusted by architects, designers, and builders, not just for their materials, but for the way they support projects from vision to completion. It's about enriching connections and creating something built to last. Learn more at forte.co.nz. So it was actually quite interesting going through it, because you had to look through all the episodes. And so if you didn't get an award this year, didn't mean that we didn't enjoy the conversation. There was actually quite a few guys that were either just missed out. Maybe next year we should do a runner-ups or something, you know what I mean?
It's pretty hard,
Yeah.
to be fair. I mean, we sat there for a couple of hours trying to figure it out.
And some of it's subjective as well. There's some of these things that are what's the best episode? And all of it's subjective. It's kind of what we enjoyed, you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that it had the best content. Sometimes some of the guys that may have had the most valuable content, maybe they didn't get an award. But this is the best we could come up with, all right? So just fucking deal with it. Okay, so let's kick it off, eh? So we'll start off the first one, which is the Best Boss Award. Okay, so that's kind of, that's really important to team culture and all that sort of stuff. So this award honors a leader who builds an excellent team culture, values work-life balance, which we figured out with builders is kind of important as well. They love fishing, they love motocross, they love, surfing, all that sort of stuff, right? So this builder offers a 4-day work week, which gives their team more time to spend with family and on hobbies. And the funny thing with this guy is that he actually, there's not his team works less, he's just spread the hours across. Instead of doing it over 5 days, they would do it over 4 days. So they do 4 long days, and then they get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, three-day weekend every week. Pretty cool. And the Best Boss Awards goes to Matt Grieve from Framology in Brisbane.
One of the things we did 2 years, it must be 2.5 years ago now, is we went to a 4-day week, 4 10-hour days. It just meant they get a Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week off. So that for the boys to have a bit of, work-life balance. It's the same hours, it's just we've compressed it so that you can have a longer weekend. Every public holiday, they get an even longer weekend. So it's just part of it.
Congratulations, Matt, for winning that award.
Have you thought about doing a 4-day work week?
For you guys?
Yeah, just asking, putting the word out there.
No.
No. Okay. Cool.
I do. I spread in our office. It's more like spreading. If you spread a 5-day over 4 days, we do that anyway, and then we just have another extra day.
Yeah.
In terms of the hours we work. Yeah. Yeah. Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin doesn't. Kevin burns out too quickly for that.
Yeah. He needs to.
Kevin's actually been fucking goner this week, eh? Have you
Yeah,
noticed?
he's really
gone,
not
eh?
on form. Yeah.
Honestly, he slept in this morning. He's like, "Hey guys, what time's the pod?" I'm like, "Bro, we're already here. What are you doing?" He's like, "Okay, I'll get Sarah to drop me off." He's like, "What the fuck?"
Real
It's like
slacking.
real off brand, eh?
Yeah.
Kevin's normally the guy. He's in early. Kevin's. Let's be honest. The year's caught up with Kevin.
Yeah.
He's
He
gone.
hasn't
His
been on
eyes
form.
looks like he's been drinking day in and day out for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I talk to him. He doesn't even listen. I'm like,
No.
"Hey, bro, when are we gonna get that done?" And he sort of just looks at me and he doesn't answer.
Blank stare,
A lot
just
of blank stares.
completely out of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I were you, I would fire him.
I'll think about it.
No, I'm kidding.
Let's do it after the episode. Push the buttons first.
No, he's great. I'm giving him a lot of shit, but
Yeah, Kevin's good. Kevin's pretty much let's be honest, he works for Grow. He's pretty much on the bench for Better Builder.
Yeah.
He's he comes off the bench impact player sometimes, like the bomb squad
yeah.
for the Better Builder podcast. So he comes off the bench, but no impact at the moment. Very low energy, very low impact. But he's getting the work's getting done.
He's
but
getting it done.
The work's getting done. It's not like the work's not getting done, but fucking drag at the moment. Okay, next. So he's not getting any awards this week. The next award goes to, it's called the Giving Back Award. It's important to give back. It can't just be all about yourself. Can't just be all about profits and driving your fancy Ram around. You know what I mean? So this is for someone who gives back to the industry, gives back to the next generation. And some people just are like that, eh? It's just sort of like, I think I'm someone that's like, can be generous at times, you know, but there are some people that are just like, it just like oozes out of them in terms of like their generosity, and they're always looking to help other people. And this guy's definitely that. So this person actually helps teenage boys and girls to build their first home while still at school. So this is like it's a really cool initiative. So it gets them ready for their apprenticeship or gives them a bit of a kickstart. This award celebrates the coach of the best building community in New Zealand. That's what they call it. And so the Giving Back Award goes to Luke Nuda from Massey High School in Auckland.
Yeah, when I see the kids and just being able to help them, it's I don't know, it's just I want to help. It used to be when I first started, I wanted to save the kids, and then I kind of realized it wasn't saving, it was helping. How do I guide these kids into a place where they can do something that's going to be successful? And I think a lot of our kids just need pathways opened up for them.
Yeah. And so what they do, and they came through the Better Builder Apprentice episode, one of those episodes, is that I didn't even know it existed, but it's like a program where like people at their like second or last year of school, they can join this program and they literally like learn theory about building and like all the fundamentals, and they learn how to use tools and all the stuff. And then in their last year of school, they spend all that year building, like, and it's like a million of them jump on one house, but they pretty much build a whole house from start to finish.
And the houses go to
Kangiora?
Yeah, which is cool as well.
Yeah, so Kangiora is like or KO, they call it. It's like a New Zealand, Auckland or New Zealand.
Emergency housing, yeah.
Yeah, it's like emergency housing. It's for people that need homes and can't afford it. So they build those homes, and, you know, I've asked them if the house still stands, you know, after a few months, and they're like, yeah, it does get signed off and everything like that. But how cool is that? So like back in the day, if you were like not really academic, and now obviously that's changed now as well, but say back in the day, if you weren't really academic, you're just sort of like left behind, then yeah, mate, go become a tradie or something. Now it's like a lot different. It's like, it's not just like people that are like, don't know what to do with their lives. It's actually people can now be 15 and go, yeah, I want to be a builder. By the time they're 16 or 17, they start learning about building, and by the time they're 17, 18, they actually build a whole house from start to finish. And then when they leave school, and then go start their apprenticeship, they already got a massive head start. So what a cool initiative. I'm not sure if they have stuff like that in Australia, but
I know they have it for not just like building, they have it for other industries as well.
Really?
Which is cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially here, which is awesome. Yeah, because they offer a lot of schools offer this thing called Gateway, which is essentially like allows you to get into a trade. Obviously, it's not as good as what
not as good as what Luke offers.
Yeah, but it's like a cool thing for people to get into where they work like 2 days a week.
Yeah.
In a trade.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
Cool thing about that as well, because we talked to Luke on the podcast. He was mentioning around how he really like pours into them, teaches them about leadership, teaches them about being like a man, and like even like obviously the girls come through as well, like teaching them how to be like man of your woman of your word, and like be that, you know, all that sort of like other things that sort of comes around it. It's not just skills of swinging a hammer, but also just like all the other elements that make up a good young man and woman. So really cool way of giving back. And he's like, they love him, like you could tell. Cool. Next award goes to the Young Gun of the Year. So every year, or we've done it for the last couple of years, we look at like a younger builder that comes through and who's like, you know, kicking ass and taking names, and we kind of like honor them here in the award ceremony. So this one's for a young builder who operates well beyond their years, delivering exceptional service for their clients, and also achieving great business success at an early age. This award recognizes an industry rising star who is paving the way for the future. This is also a young gun who's very, very generous with his time and helps other builders. He's very particularly skilled in the concrete industry, and you would kind of know who he is now. But the Young Gun Award goes to Troy Bannon from Bannon Construction in Auckland.
You know, it was a bit of the golden boy son on site, but it didn't stick too long. But it was very quick, like to a few guys say it, and then you have to prove to them almost that you're worthy, your place. And I had the van straight away, and as an apprentice of the van, or was it? Yeah, van straight away. And I just did my best to fill that van as fast as I could. Have all the tools and become an asset.
You see him in town
I see him all the time. I run into him about like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I reckon 2-3 weeks. I always see him around. Last time he was like out with his missus, and I was eating ice cream, and he came up to me and we were having a chat. He's like, "Oh yeah, I always see you around,
So yeah, he's like he loves to be social. He loves to hang out. He loves to not only is he obsessed about construction. I think his dog's named Makita or something, or his cat or something.
Yeah.
But he is also obsessed with having a good time, going out,
Fair
having
enough.
a few drinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a
It's
character.
balance. But yeah, congratulations, Troy. You deserve this one, mate. Also helping a lot of people out, especially he's just the gun-in when it comes to specialty concrete work. So always helping a lot of builders out. Like I know he's super generous with his time. So that's really cool. Awesome. Next award goes to the Builders Builder Award. So this is sort of like, let me read this. This is for a builder who's respected and liked by his peers, known for his genuinely supporting other builders. This award celebrates someone who's not just a professional builder and business owner, but an all-around good dude as well, right? So the ultimate builder's builder. So the Builders Builder Award goes to Mel Riley from DC Build.
I think the goal for us is we're really at a good size for the team. At one stage we were 20 in Auckland, too big.
Yeah.
You just can't keep an eye on quality. Things get a bit out of hand. And then the culture side of things too. It's really hard with 20 guys, and there's 20 different guys. It's hard to keep that good team culture. So I think sweet spot where we are now, sort of 10 and 9 or 10 and 10.
Yeah.
And really it's just to carry on doing really nice work for great clients and great architects, just do solid work. I mean, you've had some real weapons on the show, and those guys have done really well, and a lot of them we look up to. And if you can, I think for us, it's a legacy thing, right? When you finished and you go, this is building done, you want to be known as the company that did really great work, but were great guys and had a good team. I think that's what is important to us.
Those guys are based in Auckland as well as in Tauranga, the Mount. Congratulations, Mel. He's a good dude, eh?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when he came on the podcast, he just remember now actually, he bought me like
That's right.
He bought me a bottle of whiskey.
Jerky as well, right?
And he bought not jerky,
sorry.
biltong. He bought me like a bag of biltong. Biltong jerky is not the same thing, Dan. Come on. And you should know you're like half South African.
Yeah.
So he bought me some biltong. He bought me whiskey. Kevin may have had half of that bottle.
Yeah, at the office.
And so thanks for that, Mal. He's a good round, all around good dude. We liked hanging out with him, and I know other builders respect him as well. Cool. So the next award goes to was called the Operational Excellence Award. So with builders coming up, being on the tools and then getting off the tools and then running the office, the whole nother skill set, running a business and running it in an excellent way in terms of having your systems and processes in place, making sure you're really profitable, having a great team culture around you, and like almost making, setting up a business where the whole business doesn't revolve around you. You kind of step out and the business can run and this guy can go away for a few months and his business will still thrive.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So this is for a builder who truly excels at the business of building. They have designed and implemented exceptional back-end systems like softwares, ensuring operations run smoothly and consistently. This award celebrates the fundamental work that drives profitability and a sustainable business model. Okay? This guy works with a lot of architects. He's a very competent guy. And the Operational Excellence Award goes to Nick Smith from Smith Construction in North Auckland.
It's also continual improvement. You're never going to have and especially in this game because it's always changing, you're never going to get to a point where I've got nothing else I need to work on. You'll always be working on something, because once you get to that next step of processes and the way your business runs, you're looking for the next thing. Well, how can we do it better again? Or what's the next thing we need to work on, whether it's improving your health and safety policies or then, your CRMs or next development within your software or unleashing the next part of the software's potential that you're using. And we use Procore,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that's been a massive investment, and it has fought us, and it has taken a lot of effort to get it to work. But we've got that thing humming now, and that has been a massive transformation for our business and just the day-to-day management and just the way that you can manage RFIs, variations, budget control, everything. The whole thing runs out of Procore.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
We were lucky enough to spend a lot more time with them, obviously, with Grow. We did some stuff with their company and helped them with a lot of, brand uplift and things like that, content. Cool dude. Hey, you probably have spent more time with him than I have.
Yeah. No, he's a cool guy, and I mean, like, even it's awesome to see their recognition for the House of the Year this year.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they won for their house that they did. What house was that called? Puhutakawa House.
Yeah.
Up in Mangawa. Yeah, they won like the national award, Master Builders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just pretty awesome for them.
Very cool. They're also going to be in a very cool publication soon.
They are.
Yeah, we can't say who that is because. But yeah, so keep an eye out for. There's like 2 or 3 really cool publications out there. Create really cool content. We may have helped with that, but keep an eye out. Okay, so the most popular audio episode award. So this is essentially for the podcast episode that captured the most attention. So it's just like numbers game. Resonated with the most listeners. This award celebrates the standout audio experience that left a lasting impact. The most popular audio episode, which pretty much just means that the one that most
Perform the best this year.
performed the best audio-wise. So people listening to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. People don't know, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere where you can essentially download audio podcasts. We're there. Pretty much, right? Where else? iHeartRadio and like all those sort of spots.
Yeah. And of course, YouTube.
And of course, YouTube as well, if you want to listen and watch. But yeah, the most popular audio episode goes to John Crichton from John Crichton Builders, based in Auckland and Christchurch.
Actually, I'll tell you a real funny, quick story about life going there. I was sitting in the Jeep on the beach one day, and my senior guard who was with me, he comes running along the beach. He goes, "Quick, Kiwi, we've got about 10 out in the back." So they've just drifted off these bank, and I look over there and like, here's all these people with their hand up, and they're like, fuck. So I grab the rescue board and I go sprinting down the beach, real Baywatch moment, punched through a couple of waves, and my togs fell down. So they were right down round my knees, and so the paddleboard, you're on your knees and you're paddling along. So
People are
so
dying, you got to go.
so people are dying, and I'm like going out there, and so about 10 metres before I got to them, I stopped, and they're kind of like, what? And I'm like, pull my togs back up. Okay, I can rescue you now. So,
I know, you don't want to
never-
be like rescuing people with your pants down.
Never forget that moment. It's like, so, always do up your togs first, guys.
That was a good episode, actually.
Yeah, it was.
That was was that the first one of the year or second one of the year?
Second one, I think, of the year. It was a good episode. Remember him talking about his trip when he lived in Surfers and his bungee smugglers fell down. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the funny. That could have been the funny moment of the year as well. There's a few funny moments, but yeah, what happened again? He was like saving someone or something.
Yeah. Doing life saving. He was paddling out to get someone, and then like as soon as he went under a wave, I think is like
Came out as budgie smugglers were gone or something.
yeah,
Or down at his ankles.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, he was a good dude. Another thing that came out of that episode as well was that he was very good at like stepping out of the business and then letting the business run without him. But then I think he like lost a couple of staff members or something happened where he had to like jump back in and like be on the tools for a little bit. And he actually said he didn't mean to do that, but through doing that, he actually realized like the benefit of just from time to time, and I think that's for any business in any capacity, right? Just from time to time, just to jump into some elements that are not necessarily the best use of your time at the time. But in the long run it is, because he kind of figured out like, oh yeah, like this is how we could do things better on site. And oh yeah, I remember like working on site for like, 10 hours is not actually like the easiest thing in the world. And then he sort of got a new appreciation for his team and started fixing a few things on site that wasn't running as smoothly as he could. So yeah, I think even as like the business owner, even if you've stepped out and you've sort of, you know, you've prided yourself in like stepping out, being off the tools, being in the office, I think it's still a good idea to dip in, put the tool belt on every once in a while, or just do some elements that you haven't done in years, you know?
Yeah, see if you can keep up with your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a big thing with builders, eh? They're like, yeah. They jump in, they go hard, I think. The owner, just to kind of show the boys.
So
yeah,
you've got to. You can't like let your team outshine you while you're on site.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, still got it. I remember when Kevin and I did like a client shoot up in Port Douglas, for a builder, and we were like talking to the builder, and then all the young guys came, and then we were like filming them and stuff, and then we talked to the builder, and he was just like, there was this guy who was like all like a real like muscly dude, like a real fit guy, and I remember the builder was like, oh, you see that guy? And he's like, yeah, I fucking still run laps around that guy when I'm on the tools, eh? He was like he just really wanted to tell us that, like, yeah, even though that guy's all ripped and stuff, he still fucking can nail him if he needs to, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to still have that energy, you know, have that edge as the boss. Okay, cool. So this one's for the best sort of overall performing episode. So this is kind of like video, audio, clips, long form. Thousands of views even on the long form YouTube for us, which is really good.
Yeah.
So this award goes to the guest who stood out, the most popular episode, garnering the highest views across all social platforms, which equated around 170,000 views, which is cool. Episode provided an in-depth insight into 30 years of construction and delivered powerful insights into issues within the construction industry. It was also slightly controversial. I remember, like, it was a lot of comments, a lot of people like agreeing and disagreeing with different aspects. I guess you're going to have to go listen to it if you haven't. But the best overall performing episode for 2025 goes to Don Cotterill from Sanctuary 28, S28, in Queensland. So he's I think they're based on the Gold Coast, but they do Brisbane as well. When we were over there, he was doing the massive mansion in Byron Bay or Bangalow. So he kind of does, Northern Rivers, Queensland.
It's just ridiculous. And the control now, and has been for a number of years, is not with the builder. The control's with the subcontractors, and it's not sustainable. You know, we're just paying too much for what we're getting, and we're passing on to the clients. I slip prices over the table now. I'm embarrassed. It's just, you know, we've gone from $2,000 a square metre to $4, $5, $6, $7 a square metre to build architecturally houses, with some fancy stuff in them. But the prices have just gone nuts, and it's mainly to do with labour.
But yeah, that was a good episode as well.
Yeah, it was. A lot of insight in that one. Like, even though it was a little bit controversial, I thought it was quite good in the sense where, I mean, he was honest about what people are facing where the issues are. And that's quite good because I think a lot of people almost bite their tongue sometimes on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's good to hear like someone with that much experience who's lived, you know, through different construction companies, say where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was good. And he had like 30 years experience. I think he came from a group home builder when he was like really young, and then sort of like got himself into the architectural stuff. So his systems are always really good from memory. It's actually amazing how much stuff we remember from these episodes. Like how many, like we did like a lot of episodes like this year, like how many, probably like 50 or something like that, whatever it was. So no, that's cool. Which brings us to our final award, which is the Better Builder Podcast Guest of the Year. Now, this one is subjective because it's us choosing it, right? And let me just read first what this is. So this award goes to the guest who had us laughing, kept the banter flowing, and left a truly memorable mark on the show. With quick wit, engaging stories, and a personality that sparked conversation across all platforms. This guest didn't just share insights, but they made the episode unforgettable. I don't know if this is like I don't necessarily think that the Better Builder Podcast guest of the year is we're not saying it's the best builder. We're not saying it's the best building business. Not to say that they're not, because they're very competent. But this is the one that left a mark. It's kind of like the one where like I was like for still days after that, I was like thinking back to that episode, which is kind of weird, right? And kind of cool. So the Better Builder podcast guest of the year for 2025 goes to Todd Miller from the Ziegler Build in Byron Bay, baby.
We don't have any office staff, so we have an accountant. Normally, like I run the entire build off my phone. I never do a program because I'm a builder that's on site, that works from my gut. I know when something isn't ordered. Like my wife hadn't ordered some paint that was coming from Perth because I just didn't remember seeing the email the other day. I said, "Did you order that paint?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I forgot." So I just know. And Kane's got the same brain. And same again, because we're in a town where we're not scaling up to having 7 or 8 builds on. So I don't have a lot of office staff. Kane's wife and my wife are now doing all the invoicing and everything behind the scenes. We just do it one night a week. It's back to a real family old school and you can make some serious bank by not having, office staff, contracts administrators, and you've either got it or you don't. I don't need a contracts administrator because I've ordered the shit and it's on site before that kid's even thought about it.
Yeah, he's a
That
cracker.
was a fun one, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
He's a crazy guy, eh?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a wild man for sure.
He's a wild man. He's the guy that like where during the floods, I can't remember how long ago, 10, 20, 15 years ago, something like that, in Brisbane, he lost everything. Pretty much all that was left is what he could like pull out of the water after the floods. And then he went and it was a Grand Designs episode. So if anyone hasn't watched that, go watch it. It's a really good episode. Grand Designs, just type in Grand Designs.
It's Container
House in Brisbane. Yeah, Todd Miller. And he pretty much created a whole house out of containers and actually turned out like really good. Like it didn't look like a clunky container house. Used a lot of containers and to save costs, and it was a good episode. But anyway, during the episode, he actually before the episode, he actually asked me, he goes, "Mate, have you know anything about me?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Oh, okay." And then I was like, "What's going on here?" So this will be a controversial one. He's I don't know even if he's got like a builder's license.
He doesn't have a builder's license.
And he operates in New South Wales, he doesn't. And he does have a builder's license in Queensland, but not in New South Wales. And he operates out of Byron Bay, and there's a lot of drama. And then Byron Bay comes with a lot of drama, and a lot of insights into that area comes out of that episode. But no, he's the guy that, I mean, I always like people that are a little bit quirky and a little bit left field, but he's definitely one of one kind of person.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't made out of a mold or anything like that.
He was a barber for a bit as well, if I remember correctly.
A hairdresser.
Yeah. Hairdresser.
He wasn't a barber. He was a hairdresser.
Yeah.
A woman.
Yeah.
And he talked a lot of stuff. He talked about how, and he's a straight guy. This is like really funny. And then he talked about how he had to like play footy. He played footy as well, competitive footy, and how he would like color the hair of the boys in the locker room, and then he would like go and cut women's hair during the week, and freaking fun episode.
Yeah.
I need to listen back to that actually. So yeah, that's our Better Builder podcast guest of the year. Sorry, Todd, we can't give you your award in person, but next time we're in Byron Bay, we'll bring it. Remind me, make a note.
Okay.
So that's it. That's it for the year. Any other takeaways in terms of Better Builder, in terms of the podcast, in terms of what you have particularly enjoyed?
I mean, it's been a cool experience, I think. And when people that reach out to not only you, but also to me around the podcast, when I do get the occasional reach out, everyone loves the podcast and the insight that it gives. So it's like, worth it in the end.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that like, I still absolutely love doing it. If there's any element that sort of gets draining or gets repetitive, whatever, it's mostly in like the organizing guests to come on, or the post-production or posting, or making sure that the way that presents is, and all that sort of stuff can get draining. But like the actual sitting and having yarns, good chats with builders and architects and so on, for me, it's still a lot of fun. Like I think I could do this for like 10 years. If people are interested, I would still keep doing it. I love it. It's really, really fun for me. And just that's why I'm just like, I want to do less so that each episode, 'cause sometimes if you do a lot, even if you love it, sometimes we'll do like 3 episodes in a row in one day. By the time you get to the 3rd episode, it can feel a little bit like repetitive, like you can slip into going through the motions. But so I want to do less episodes, so each episode can be more impactful, and I can be a lot more just like in it and way more engaged in each episode. And I felt the way, if I'm really engaged and I'm really curious and I'm like really want to know the ins and outs of that person behind the building business, the episodes come out a lot better, not just like going through the motion. I think probably like 85% of the or 80% at least of the episodes I've done so far I've been really engaged, and maybe 20% hasn't. It's just like the nature of it. And there also has been episodes we haven't posted.
Oh yeah,
where we've done the episode and then afterwards we're like, yeah, let's not post that one, and then we just sort of hold it back. But
doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't happen very often. And most of the episodes we don't edit a lot either.
Yeah.
But yeah, just want to say thanks for all the guests that came on this year. I know that it's definitely nerve wracking for a lot of guys. Like sometimes the guys come in and they're sort of a bit nervous the first 5 minutes, you can tell. So appreciate guys coming on and having a chat. And if you're listening to this and I've reached out to you and you've been thinking about it, just come on. It's fun. It's actually like it's a good way. We've also had builders, especially architects, even recently we had an architect came on and just reached out to me afterwards and said, "Jeeps, mate, like so many people reach out to me. Like I didn't know that the podcast has such a listenership." And I think it's not that we, have like millions of people listening in. We don't. We probably have like, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 active listeners that sort of, dip in, at least 1 or 2 episodes a month. And so, but out of those, they're quite like engaged, you know what I mean? And they really like, I have a lot of people, let me rephrase it, not a lot of people, but from time to time, people like hit me up in the streets and like, "Hey Brad, I like the podcast," or whatever. And that's super cool, you know what I mean? It was a bit weird the first time it happened, but then now I kind of just know like it's kind of cool, because it's like a small little pocket of the internet, you know what I mean? Like we're all kind of like in the same little thing. So that's cool as well. So if you have come up to me and, yeah, thanks for that. And if you see me come up, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's not like I'm famous or anything like that. It happens like maybe once a month or twice a month. It's not like it happens like multiple times a day or anything like that. But it's obviously it's cool to know that people are listening and people are enjoying it. I was cutting my hair the other day and a guy sitting next to me was like hitting me up while we're getting our hair cut, which is kind of cool. At the rugby recently as well. So no, it's been really awesome. It's been a fun experience.
We forgot to even talk about the fact that we did 25K this year on socials, and we did a 25K run.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about that, but yeah, we did that. Maybe we'll dip on that on the way out. So yeah, we did. We reached like 25,000 followers on Instagram, which is crazy. Like it's a lot of people that
2
follow.
years.
Yeah. 2 years or a year and a half, whatever. And that's really cool. So we're like, what could we do? And we were like, well, came up with the idea. I was like, imagine. And honestly, when I said it at the time, I didn't believe that we actually would do it. I was just like, yeah, imagine like we just like went for like a 25K run just to celebrate the 25K. Keeping in mind that the longest run that I've done in the last like 5 years has been like 5K. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we did it the next day. We came up with the idea at like about 5 o'clock, the end of the day. And literally that next morning at 7 a.m., we were running.
Earlier than that, yeah.
Yeah, 6 a.m.
Took us like most of the day, I think. Oh, no, it didn't. We got...
No, it was 3 hours and 3.5 hours.
Or something,
yeah. 3 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. Took us 25K. And then I remember I had to go buy some running shoes on the way home because they were closing at 5:30. I had to like gap it to go buy some running shoes. Didn't have running shoes. And then we did 25K. That was fun, eh?
Yeah. I mean, fun's a way to put it. It was good. It was good fun. It was cool. cool going through the motions and like powering through, especially that last like 3K.
Yeah.
I think we were all a bit.
Sort of got me a little bit like interested in like more like longer distance kind of, because I've done like none, like I've done no training, and then even so we did that. It was like that was based on zero training, the 25K, and then me and then Kevin signed me up for another event, which was like a backyard ultra, like it's an unofficial backyard ultra, like kind of more like a fun run kind of thing, right? Where it was like a 5K loop, like in the bush, like it was like a trail run, and you sort of just rock up and you see how many. And we signed up for like 12 hours or something like that. Keep in mind, I've run like nothing, right?
How much training did you do leading up to it?
None.
Yeah.
So like between our 25K and this event, I think I went for like one 5K. I did one 10K, and keep in mind that was probably like a 3 or 4 month gap. I did like one 5K, one 10K by myself to see if I could do it. When me and Kevin went to Sunshine Coast, we did a 10K in the morning there, and it was only because I was with Kevin that I did that 10K. So that was it. I did a 5K and a 10K and a 10K over 3 months, and that was the only training I did. And we rocked up, and I ended up doing like 8 laps. I did like 40Ks, and it was like a hard track, like really steep parts and stuff. And then Kevin did like, how many Ks did you do in the end, Kevin?
65, yeah.
Kevin did, so Kevin did 13 laps. He's more of a runner, but I was really impressed. Like he just pushed through, you know. I had a few bits where I was lying on my back, like not knowing if I could keep going, you know what I mean? Then my family would turn up and I'd be like, oh shit, I can't look like a loser in front of them. So I just go do another lap. But each lap was very much painful. I learned a lot about myself and about what. Yeah, I bought like way too much. I spent all my time preparing food because I watched like some ultra marathon documentaries, and we had a lot of food, and we ate like 10% of it if you're lucky.
Yeah, you guys were prepping hard that whole week. You're like, what are we going to bring? What food do we need? Like, are we going to be okay with the amount? I was sitting there thinking, oh yeah, you guys will be okay. But well, actually, no, I had no faith.
Yeah, I didn't realize that like it's not. I needed like legs, not food. I needed like to be able to like run, but yeah. Let's just say I learned a lot about myself on that run, doing 40Ks. The longest I ever run was like 10, right? And then I did the 25 this year, and then I did the 40. So it was a bit of running this year. It was kind of interesting and fun. But we probably do like another long one. I want to do like I'm not going to say it. But
no. As soon as you say it, then people are going to hold it.
Yeah. But I want to do like a little bit longer. But yeah, no, it's been a good year. Thanks, Dan, for being the producer, you know. The Kanye of the show, you know, just producing behind the scenes. You always get calls out, eh? People always call you out.
Yeah, but mostly people like talking shit about me. Like, it's not really like people like, oh yeah, that's Dan, and they'll give me shit, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, all right.
I think it's like they think because I give you shit on the show, they can just give you shit as well. But no, it's been thanks for all your efforts, and thanks Dane as well for editing everything, and you obviously organising everything and making sure that it goes live. Not easy to put out an episode every single week, and we've been sort of sticking to it, sort of getting close to 100 episodes, and we'll get to that soon. But have a good break, relaxing break. You deserve it.
Yeah, you too. It's been a long year, I think, and everyone listening as well.
Yeah,
it's like,
everyone listening, have a great Christmas break. Go relax, lie on the couch, have that extra, pavlova slice. Have that extra beer, have that extra, unwrap that cigar that's been sitting in your cupboard for a year, smoke it outside, have a good time, and we'll come back firing in the new year.
Yeah, cheers.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Dan. See you next year, mate. This episode is brought to you by Forte, specialist in refined timber surfaces for inside and out. From elegant flooring and paneling to durable cladding and decking, Forte delivers unparalleled performance where it matters most. Their products are crafted to elevate every space, combining natural beauty with technical precision and enduring design with innovation. Discover more at forte.co.nz.